What's up guys, Ivo here. Today I'm in Rune Tower with my guildies. Rune Tower Heroic, that is. You enter Rune Tower from Acheron and you can select the normal mode or the heroic mode. Now I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm gonna make a live guide for you guys and I'm gonna tell you the drops, how to do it, etc, etc, etc. So first of all, when you enter, as for group composition, you kinda need a cleric because this is the hard mode version of the dungeon, and don't necessarily need a Templar. Gladiators can do fine as well. A gate was here. It takes 1 minute after you enter for the gate to open, and the timer does not start, right? As you can see now, when we're gonna jump down, the timer is actually going to start. As you can see, 25 minutes is starting now. A few differences, guys. I'm gonna tell you from the beginning a few differences in between the normal mode and the hard mode. First of all, you have less time than in the normal mode, yeah. Second of all, the mobs hit harder. Third of all, the last boss has a little bit more mechanics than the boss in the normal mode, yeah? Let me tell you also how the instance goes. It goes like this. You have 4 bridges, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is on the at the end of this road. You have 4 bridges, guys. You need to defend this particular generator, that generator, this generator from the mobs. It's really simple. That is the whole point of the dungeon. Now, waves of mobs spawn as you fill the generator with items that you gather from around this dungeon. So one person has to be designated to gather these items and fill in the generators, right? Now, it doesn't have to be necessarily that person that gathers to fill in every time you do it, because as you can see, for now we're just 5 of us here and one of us is gathering in the distance, and mobs are still coming because the first wave is very easily filled in by one of these group members, and we can just kill it as the designated person gathers the mats, right? Now, waves of mobs come depending on the level which the generator is filled. The mobs become stronger and more of them, right? So at the beginning, not all of them are elites. At the beginning, some of them are super easy to kill. Later on, you're gonna have healer mobs, and at the second stage, you're gonna have a couple of elites, and in the third stage, you're gonna have 2 elites that you need to kill. Uh, and so it gets harder as you progress with filling these generators. Now, every generator needs to be filled 3 times, so that means you need 3 items to fill in a generator. By the way, if you're the leader of the group, go ahead and set the loot to free for all and normal, at least for this particular stage before you enter the last boss, because it's really important. For the person that's gathering, it's really important, not to roll always. There's no need to roll. So since the items are green, you can set the loot to normal and free for all, so that particular person can, do its own thing and just gather things. Now, there is a particular order in which you should have to kill these mobs, guys. This, for example, is an elite military musician. Now, this particular guy is a healer, so if you're gonna have 20 mobs like we do, and that military musician is gonna be left untouched, and you do not have CCs and AOEs for him, then he is going to start healing the mobs that are low HP, like this, healing light. This needs to be interrupted. In our case, we killed it, so it doesn't matter, yeah? So focus the mobs that are healing. If a gladiator or a templar are tanking, then you should definitely focus, second of all, after the healers, the mages, because mages do pretty nasty damage to a plate, because of our kind of low magic suppression. And also the mage mobs also put people into a tree state, etc, etc. So now we finished with this particular bridge. Always, guys, start with the lower bridges. Let me tell you also why. Because if you start with the lower bridges, you can do these two, and then when you're gonna go above, you have a very good overview on the lower bridges, yeah, so you can see what's going on, so you can see if these towers need healing, help, etc, etc. Let me also tell you one very important thing. After you defeat 3 waves of mobs, for each generator. After that, every 1 minute comes a wave of mobs. I'm gonna try to show you guys the particular wave of mobs that comes. Is that right, guys? It's every 1 minute?
It's 2.
Every 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, a wave of mobs comes that has the aggro on the tower. So you should be having a designated person to take each bridge that you're not currently working on, right? So at the moment we're on the second bridge, and we already have our good friend Icy Mage working on the last bridge, because there are still mobs there that need to be killed. They come once in 2 minutes. We should have been there also helping him, because he is the one that's going to be activating the next bridge whenever his timings are right. So now he killed them. He knows that in 2 minutes there's going to be another wave and he needs to go back. So he calculates, he puts a timer, however you guys feel like doing it, and he's going to start this round as well exactly in time, so he can, because from the moment you start the round, then 2 minutes after he pressed this button, in this particular bridge there's gonna be that wave of mobs, which you guys are not gonna probably notice it because we're gonna be killing it along with all these other mobs, but it's once in 2 minutes. Same story, guys, for this particular bridge. In the meantime, while we're just tanking these mobs, keeping the aggro, focusing the healers if there are any. See, at the moment all of these mobs are non-elites. We're in the first stage, super easy, yeah? You can charge 2 stages at once, you can charge even 3 stages at once if you're running the party with, I don't know, 3 sorcerers, 2 gladiators and a cleric. Pretty nice AoE strat, yeah? I'm gonna tell you guys why I am here, so you can understand what is the purpose of this dungeon. The purpose of this dungeon is to give you designs, not necessarily designs in the literally sense, but prototypes that you can enchant the gear that you get from the normal mode Rune Shield Tower. You can enchant it into a better version of that particular gear. I'm gonna show you one of these, yeah? Our good friend linked it here for us. So this is one design that you can get from this particular dungeon. Now if you're into, by the way guys, be careful on the tower, yeah? As you can see, sometimes 3 of these mobs come to the tower, and then after these 3 mobs there's gonna be one other mob which is an elite, yeah? So that mob also needs to be killed. Be advised, guys, that that elite mob is actually resets aggro. He goes to hide and then he resets aggro. So if you're the guy that's tanking, keep in mind that you always need to be taunting after the mob comes out of hide, yeah? Speaking about these designs, guys, as a tank I'm always also keeping an eye on the tower. See, look at that guy. That's the elite guy I was talking about. We go there, we aggro them really fast, and then we go back, because some of the mobs do an AoE, and that AoE goes to the tower as well. Don't be shy to pop your cooldowns, guys, if you're a tank. Don't be shy to AoE. There's no need to be shy about that. If those particular mobs go to the tower, you can just go ahead, CC them, fear them, and you're not gonna have absolutely any problems. Now, guys, speaking about the designs, why am I here? I am here to get the shield design. It is very important for me to have this particular prototype in order to make my Rune Shield Tower shield better than it is. It is my preferred shield for this particular content and for 5.0 content, so I really actually need this particular shield. Yeah, that's why I'm here. These prototypes come from the box that you're gonna get in the last boss. Obviously I'm gonna show you guys the drops as well, and you're gonna see. We're gonna see if we get lucky as well. And you have to be lucky to get, first of all, the box that has the prototypes inside. After you get lucky to get that particular box, you also have to get lucky to get the prototype for the particular piece you're looking for. In my case, a shield. I can get 8 different prototypes, actually 7 I think. It's 5 pieces of gear, the prototypes for 5 pieces of armor, and then the prototypes for 3 weapons. As a Templar I can wear swords, great swords and shield, yeah? So I can get one of the 8 types of prototypes. We're going to go upwards now, guys, because we're done with those 2 towers. Now, our good friend Icy Mage is gonna do both of these towers. In normal mode, Rentus, it's super easy to do both of them. In hard mode, it is a little bit harder, but we do have the practice and the necessary gear in order for a sorcerer to do 2 bridges. For him, it's gonna be pretty easy. And you can also, if you're not sure on the guy that you put to do the towers, right, once in 2 minutes, if you're not sure on that particular guy, you can also put 2 people to do the towers, one on one side and one on the other side. It's really easy. In that case, if you put 2 people downstairs on the towers, that means that up here you're gonna have the cleric, the tank, and 1 DPS, because one guy is on tower number 1, one guy is on tower number 2, and the other guy is still gathering uh, the items necessary to spawn these particular mobs. Yeah, this is, for example, an elite. It's not as important of an elite as a healer. Yeah, but it is an elite, so it still needs to be killed. Preferably mages go first, healers go first, mages go second, and then all of the other mobs on third priority. Yeah, if some regular mobs go on the cleric or go on one of the group members, don't bother too much about them, because they don't hit hard at all, and you should be having absolutely no problem with them. One other very important thing, I don't think I'm gonna get to show you, but I will get to show you this particular box. Yeah, this particular box is a box from which you can get ammunition to use this particular cannon. Yeah, it's really straightforward. You can also do that particular strat in which the guy that's gathering from these boxes and the guy that's gathering the items to spawn the mobs also gathers these particular boxes and goes in the cannon, and then in the last round or even throughout the fight, the cannon has 2 skills. One skill is to paralyze mobs in a big radius around your target. That wastes I think 1 of these shots, and the other skill is to do damage to the mobs. Yeah, so if your group cannot handle it, for example, if you have 2 people on the bridges downstairs, then obviously you're gonna be missing DPS for this round, let's say. Yeah, in that case you're gonna want the person that's gathering things to stop gathering things and come inside this particular cannon and help you with the DPS. Yeah, very simple. You can make your own rules. The way we do it is like this: one person takes 2 bridges because he can, and the rest of us are just gonna be here. After this particular bridge is done, this is the last wave, then we're gonna be moving to the last bridge, in which we have our own tactic, because mostly because I can and because it's faster. We're just not gonna be killing those mobs. Yeah, we're just gonna be ignoring those mobs, and I'm gonna take them on myself. I'm gonna leave about 20-30% of the mobs on the cleric with bodyguard, and the rest I'm gonna have on myself. Why do I leave them on the cleric with bodyguard? Is because from bodyguard I take 50% less damage. Yeah, so if it would be up to me, I would leave all the mobs to the cleric, bodyguard him, and then I would only take half of the overall damage. But since we have a cleric from Looking for Group, he's a pretty nice guy, but he's still not on TeamSpeak, etc. I will have to tank those mobs. Yeah, this is the last mob from this particular bridge. Our person that gathers the items necessary is our good chanter here, and she already has 3 items that will be able to, that will allow her to fill in the next tower from the beginning until the end non-stop. Yeah, how do you finish this particular round? I will tell you that as well. You finish this round, the initial phase, by filling all of the 3 towers to max, and then lasting for 30 seconds after the last bit of this tower has been filled. Yeah, that's how you finish it. So if you have some crazy out of this world strat, you can just gather things for 10 minutes, fill all of the towers at the same time, and then somehow you can just last and, you know, do your own things. Who knows, there may be a strat in which you guys are all gonna share the items from the cannon, and each of you is gonna go inside the cannon and just stun those mobs for 30 seconds before the tower dies. So that can also be possible. How we do it, as you're gonna see, We're just gonna be doing it the good old-fashioned way. Templar takes everything, and we're gonna be Gucci, yeah? You obviously, during this phase, you have to pop a couple of cooldowns. I am personally going to start this time with my Vision Stigma. Um, I'm gonna be waiting for the cooldown of my Iron Skin. At the moment I have Vision Stigma plus Shield of Faith. That's a pretty good mitigation. Now, if you do have problems, you can definitely pop Empyrean Providence and then bodyguard your Cleric. That's even less damage. You can use Stubborn Spirit. That's even cooler. You can have your Spirit Master fear 6 of these mobs. That's cool as well. And if your, for example, Iron Skin is on cooldown, then you can definitely pop 4 KDP, and then you're not going to be taking any physical damage, only the magical ones, yeah? These are various strats that you can do. At the moment, for example, we just had like 5 more seconds remaining. It's not important if you die in this phase. I could have popped my 4 KDP, but I thought I wouldn't for some odd reason. You could have done it. I could have popped my Chatterize. You could have done it as well. These mobs are going to disappear, so don't worry about them. A portal spawns at instead of each bridge. Yeah, you can access the portal from downstairs, like our sorcerer, or you can access the portal from here. Doesn't matter. Now for the most tricky part, the last boss. Actually, this is the easiest part. The difference in between this particular boss and the other boss is the following. First of all, he does one extra skill, which is a room-wide, I think it's a bind. It's not a silence, it's just a bind. Um, which can definitely be resisted if you have a magic resist set, or if you pop a magic resist skill, yeah, that you can resist. And then you can dispel, for example, if you're a cleric and you have a magic resist set, it comes in handy in this fight. Nothing special to say about this boss. Don't face the boss as a tank, don't face it towards the group members, don't stand in front of the boss if you're a DPS. The range from this side of the room to the other side of the room is 25 meters, so you can, if you're a cleric, you can heal the people from the other side of the room with ease. Yeah. Now this is the bind. Let's see. This is a silence, actually, not a bind. So that was my bad. He does these things as well, in which you should be going in and out. I'm gonna call it for you guys next time, and we're gonna do it right as well, because this time I was too busy talking. It does quite a lot of damage if you're a new player. Not so much damage if you have gear, so you can ignore it if you're super geared. But you would have to do it if you're not that geared. At the same time as the in and out comes, also those little freaking bombs appear as well. And those, if they explode, plus you take the damage from the in and out skill, then you're gonna surely be one hit. Other than that, the boss does the same as in normal mode. He puts someone up in the air, and then a couple of seconds later he casts a big damage skill that sometimes actually one-shots a Clothy. It never one-shot me, it kinda takes me to half HP. Does a lot of damage though, so if you're a Templar, if you can panoply or bodyguard that particular person, would be great. If you're a Spirit Master, this is again the silence, gas eruption. If you're a acquired target, see Saivo. Now he puts me in the air, and I think I'm not bodyguarded. Yeah, so half HP, exactly like I told you, on me. If you're a Clothy, then that's gonna be 80%, 90%, even one shot. So if you're a Chanter, you can pop your shield at that time. If you're with a new group, if you're a Spirit Master, you can pop your bodyguard. If you're a Templar, you can pop your bodyguard. It depends on who you're playing with and who is up in the air, yeah? Soon, guys, there's gonna be 3 generators that need to be killed, because if we don't kill those generators in time, then the generators will heal the boss. These are the generators, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this one here as well, we're gonna take that one, we're gonna pull him here as well. Sorcerer, just AoEs them, and pretty straightforward. Fast kill, so the boss doesn't heal itself. Again, acquire target, our sorcerer is in the air. It's gonna be a simple bodyguard. Ah, that was just in time, but not in time for the cast. As I was telling you in AION, things work like this. If you use a mitigation ability, this is the out. I'm gonna get it. Ah, no, I didn't. And this is the inn. And look at the bombs. They now start to explode. When you see them light up like that, they're about to explode, so definitely avoid them. With the bodyguard, because of the silence, I wasn't able to cast it, and I was only able to cast it narrowly at the end. It wasn't enough, guys, because in AION it works like this. If you do not cast a skill like a panoply, a bodyguard, an Imperial Providence, a shield, whatever, a heal, before 50% of the incoming damaging ability is cast, then that means that the person is gonna take that skill, yeah? Let's loot. Let's thank this cleric for joining us, and let me just quickly, guys, show you now what did we get from this. So you could get also from this dungeon, you get from the heroic version, you can get an enhanced version of the hat. Maybe our spirit master can link it since he got it. Yeah, there it is. We'll show it to you guys as well. No, this is not the one. This is the
No,
one.
no, no.
Yeah, there we go. So you can get this one. If you have worse, then this can do just fine for you. Rentus, I've heard, is better. You can get the enhanced version of the wings from this particular dungeon. That's also like a drop. And you get these boxes. So let's see. What did we get? Did we get what we need, or did we not get what we need? A couple of mats, some medians, some more mats. This is the equipment chest. We did get the purple that we are actually looking for. We're looking for this enhanced Inatum design chest. Uh, let's quickly open this one. Let's see what we get. This is a piece of garbage. So we only got one Dinatum box, but I have one from the previous run. So I'm going to open two of these, and we're going to see. Actually, wait. Where is this one? No, that was the only one that I had. So let's open the shitty things first. Balasit Crystal, this is also good. This is for upgrading the gear that you get from these dungeons, Runadium, Catalamize, etc. Let's open another supply box. You get battle medals. This is pretty good. You can exchange these eventually for supplements and sell them for Kina or use them. Some designs that you can get from Catalamize, Runadium, etc. And that's about it, guys. Let's open this and let's see if we get what we need. Probably not, because there's a 1 in 8 chance, but hey, who knows. We got a shoulders prototype, which is actually not useful at all. I need to get the shield one. That's what you get, guys. I wish you lots of fun doing this dungeon. Tell me how it goes for you. Tell me if you're lucky to get these enhanced things, if you're even doing them. Lots of fun, lots of love, and don't forget to subscribe.